Well, hello everybody, we are back with another video. Today we're in one of our own vehicles. It's a 2013 Subaru Crosstrek that, boy, I remember when this thing was new, and it still looks pretty much the same mostly. Yeah, it's a little bit dirty in some places. It's 120,000 miles on it now, but it's, believe it or not, is in pretty good condition. And I might as well give you guys a little bit of an update, or kind of the first update on this vehicle. And if anyone's interested in purchasing a first generation Subaru Crosstrek, we're currently on the second generation, which is on sale right now. I just did a video on the sport version with the larger engine, and this is a first generation Subaru Crosstrek. So let's go take a look at it. When this Crosstrek first came out, it was pretty of an interesting vehicle for Subaru. They kind of started, or kind of exploded, this whole compact crossover SUV segment. Essentially, it is a Impreza on stilts. It has some body cladding, and when they launched it, it came in this really cool desert khaki color, and we were like, might as well get this pretty cool color. It's a unique car, and we might as well get it. Let me just turn on the fog lights and the headlights. It's getting dark out, give it a better look, but I still like this color today. It's been almost 10 years now. It's not the headlights, I'm stupid. It's been almost 10 years now, and I still think this color looks pretty unique. And it's completely stock, actually. There's nothing different or changed about it. Still has stock fog lights, stock headlights. Of course, we've changed them a lot over the years. They have burnt out quite a bit. Other than that, there's been, I think, a recall or two we've had to change where there's been stuff fixed in the engine. I think there's a seal that was fixed, and some other minor suspension bits have been changed, and wheel bearings and whatnot. But other than that, it's stock. And yeah, it still looks pretty good. I think it still looks pretty good today. The new one, of course, is more squinty, more sporty and whatnot, which I think is pretty cool. And I still like these Crosstrek wheels. I'm not the biggest fan of the newer ones. I still think they're pretty iconic, and I think everyone decided to copy this wheel design after Subaru came out of it. So I think Jeep started doing it, and a whole bunch of other brands started doing this weird, like, machine finish black wheel and this kind of weird Y-spoke pattern. I still think these wheels look pretty good today, which is kind of cool. They're a little bit dirty right now, which we'll clean in another video, but yeah, still pretty cool. A little, just tiny touch of body cladding around the vehicle is fine. Nothing too aggressive like on the Mazda CX-30 or anything, but yeah, pretty tasteful. Of course, we have some roof rails up here. This one does have a sunroof. It's just the premium, so it doesn't have any leather seats or anything. And to open the hood, we'll get a look at the engine underneath there. Pop the hood, you have the hood latch right there. Let's go check that out real quick. Under here we have the venerable Subaru FA20. Oh, it's a little bit loud right now. Some belts. FA20 flat 4. Nothing too much crazy to see here. Of course, 4-cylinder box cylinder engine, around like 150 horsepower, 152 horsepower new. Over time, let me close that up. Over time, of course, I'm sure that's gone down a little bit. Of course, it's paired to a CVT out back there. Not the best power for a crossover style vehicle. Coming out back here, see the trunk space. Decent amount of trunk space. Again, it's just a lifted up Impreza. You do have your cover right here and mat. I'll open that up in a second. First, you have your rubber mat here. Nothing too crazy. That's just a typical cover over there. Again, nothing too crazy. But you know, the thing people really bought the Crosstrek for the most was the ground clearance, the SUV look of it, and cooler colors. But now, of course, the Crosstrek's going to be becoming its own kind of model, has different looks than the Impreza, at least up front. And now there's a new sport model with a bigger engine on offer. It's not too much to look at on the outside. Let's go in the interior. With this generation Impreza and Subaru, space is okay. Now, this vehicle has been on countless trips, very long trips, packed with stuff, and you're able to do it with 4 people. It's kind of my seating position. I've sat back here for a long time, so I kind of know it's pretty, actually not too bad, even for long road trips. You have a lot of lower end legroom. My seat's just very far back right now. It does not have to be like this, but normally if I come over to this side, you would see how much legroom you actually have. Really not bad. Of course, you have pockets on the right side. Down the side, it's cloth seats. Pretty durable. Mostly over time, you could have gotten leather seats as an option. Don't recline, but they do fold down, these rear seats, and headroom's not too bad. You do have this little sunroof, moonroof thing going on over here too, and you know, pretty plasticky black interior. Built very well though, pretty reliable, and holds up well over time, I think. Let's go hop back up front. Ugh. Cool. Getting back up front here. Awesome. So back up front in the Crosstrek, seatbelt on over here. And you know, it's pretty basic. You could have gotten an upgraded, like very simple navigation style system for the 2013 model year, which was nothing special. It really wasn't a decent upgrade over this. This is before Apple CarPlay or stuff we're talking about. Of course, the new ones are completely different. But yeah, it's a very basic functional interior. Everything's very rubberized. It works very well. Of course, there's a little bit lighting going on behind here if you want at night, as you can see right now. Door locks. We got some padding on the side. Yeah, very basic. We don't even have like a compass thing in the mirror or anything. Like I said, very basic. Steering wheel still actually in like a rubberized plastic material. Not super durable over time, as you can see, is starting to wear up here. A lot of holding your hand like this. But yeah, like I said, very durable. Mostly, or generally, in the overall interior, and very functional. Nothing too fancy. You do have Bluetooth in here, AM, FM radio, CD changer, USB port in the center console, and heated seats. That's it. Of course, you have the power roof. This has actually never had an issue. This has always worked. We've never had a problem with this, knock on wood. So this has always been really good, thankfully. And hello, everyone, and welcome back today for another video. Today we have the all-new Subaru Crosstrek Sport. Now, this is a Sport, and it has the bigger engine, finally. It's a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated boxer 4-cylinder engine, and that means finally more horsepower on the Crosstrek, which is things people have been wanting for a while. Here's a sticker right here. As you can see, 2.5 liter naturally aspirated flat 4. This one sits in around $28,000. A little tiny bit of options, but it doesn't have all the options. As you can see, the screen's a little bit smaller. You do have some nice stuff like eyesight and all that fun little features. Now, what else do you get with the Crosstrek Sport and all the other cool stuff? We're going to go check out how it drives real quick. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the newer features that the Sport gives you. Let's do a quick little walk around before we take it on a short drive. Awesome. So, first up, we're going to start this off with the driving, because the whole point of this Sport version is kind of this bigger engine, because people wanted more power on the Crosstrek. The regular Crosstrek has a 2-liter flat 4 engine, which is, as my experience with our two Subarus that both have this similar engine, it's slow. It has like 150 horsepower compared to a CVT. Not the best stuff. This one gets like 182 horsepower, so you do get a little bit of a boost in the power output. And it still has a CVT. This is a newer generation CVT. Okay, everyone, so we're on the outside of this Crosstrek Sport over here. And as we can see, as it is a Sport model, we do get these kind of more sporty wheels. I believe these are pretty small wheels. I do like this kind of graphite kind of finish on them with this Y-spoke design. Really nice stuff. Coming around to the front, like I mentioned before, no LED lights going on up here. We're pretty much with a basic style light design. Now, this is based on the updated Subaru Crosstrek, of course, so we do get a different kind of bumper and grille design going on up here. But these lights are pretty basic. I wish there was LEDs. If you do upgrade to a higher end specification, this entire beam becomes an LED light, and you do get LED beams going on in there. We do have fog lights down here. There's a lot of black plastic cladding, as you can see, going on the lower area. Now, of course, this will be a little bit more apparent if you get a brighter color, but this is an all black version, and you can't really see the cladding too much. There's also cladding on the side sills, as well as going across the entire side of the vehicle up into the rear. This one also has the body side molding going across as well. And of course, this one doesn't have it, but you can get a pretty small kind of moonroof going on up there. I do like the Crosstrek. I think it looks pretty good, but I definitely like it more with the better headlights and whatnot. Coming around the front, like I said before, pretty much a nice going on design. I do like this new little grille design. It has a little bit more of an actual design going on to the vehicle instead of being so plain. And then coming around to the rear real quick, we have, I believe these are LED taillights, but let's check this out. I believe they might be full LEDs on the higher end models. I do like how they kind of blacked out these center pieces from the factory now. I think it looks a little bit more aggressive or whatnot. And we do have this new Sport badge going on here, of course, with that kind of weird lime orangey green font going on there. Pretty cool. And all the other badges are all blacked out. Here's the rear of the vehicle. Nothing too different here on this updated version. Now, coming around to the trunk, pop this open. No power trunk stuff going on here, or locking or anything. But the space hasn't changed too much in the Crosstreks. Pretty decent amount of space. You'd be surprised how much stuff you can fit back here. It's a decent amount of daily cargo space. I do like how we have this net going on here. There's a lot of different accessories you can attach. Of course, you have a cargo cover up here, some lights, and that's it. And there is a rubber floor mat on the bottom. I believe this one does have a spare as well underneath here. I'm gonna try to get that up. Let's go check that out. Yeah, we do have a spare underneath here, which is nice. A lot of new vehicles are not coming with spares, unfortunately. So that's a nice feature to have. If you're trying to lift some stuff in it, it's a little bit high off the ground. It's a little bit of a lip, but you should be fine generally. If you do want something like a power tailgate, you're gonna have to step up to a higher end Forest or the larger Subaru if you want to get something like that. Close that up real quick. Now let's go take a look in the rear of the Crosstrek to give you guys an idea of the rear seat room. Nothing too much has changed in the rear seat room of the Crosstrek as well, since it is just a kind of a facelifted version of it. Same stuff going on the door panels with this kind of like perforated material. Really nice feeling. Feels very durable. Hopping in real quick. Let's hop in. Awesome. Solid thunk with the newer Subaru platform. Really nice stuff. Legroom and headroom in the Crosstrek is pretty good. It hasn't really been bad, but it is, like I said, on the smaller vehicle size. If you want more room, you're gonna have to go into a Forester or an Outback or something. This is pretty much in a typical driving position, I would say. I have a lot of footroom actually. Legroom is not too bad, and you do have these kind of built-in storage packs in the back. Let me go hop over to the other side, the driver's side. This is my driving position. I actually have a little bit more legroom, just how I sit. Way more legroom, actually. I'm 6'1" as well, so if you guys want to have a little bit of a reference, that's that. I fit pretty well back here. I think it's nice. There's no kind of amenities going on, unfortunately, so there's no like charging ports. There's no AC outlets. Again, you're gonna have to step up in a Subaru lineup to get that. There's a little bit of a driving hump for the drive line for the all-wheel drive system, so you have to deal with that as well. I believe you can get all-weather floor mats, but this one has the regular carpets with the stitching on it. I think it's kind of nice as a touch as well. And there is no pouch in the back of the driver's seat. It's only on the passenger seat. So if you want both of those, you have to look elsewhere. Headroom-wise, this is actually pretty good. I'm gonna do a little measurement. I'll show you guys. I'm gonna sit back in the seat. I have about this much of headroom in between my fingers. That's actually a lot of headroom. And like I said before, this one does not have the moonroof, which would come right here, and that would kind of eat up a little tiny bit of room, I think. Nothing too bad, but generally it's not too bad with headroom. And visibility in Subarus has always been one of their pride hallmarks. Nice big windows back here. The seat pillow is a little bit thick, but the rear window is huge, and you do have a lot of visibility over there, and the rest of the windows in the Subaru are massive. I always call it a fishbowl because you always have so much visibility in Subarus, one of their kind of pride things. And you do have a frameless style, almost frameless rear view mirror going on there with compass integration, and of course automatic dimming as well, which is a nice feature to have. Other than that, this is, like I said before, we've lived with a Crosstrek for almost 10 years now, and it's been a great daily vehicle. And it's also been a decent family hauler for kind of longer trips and whatnot, which is, you would think is pretty weird because the vehicle's kind of small on the smaller side. But Subaru kind of blew up this whole segment coming out with these Crosstrek back in like 2013. Now we have everything from the Mazda CX-30, competitors across all ranges, Honda HR-V and whatnot. It's a huge segment now, and it's still growing, which is kind of crazy. But overall, I think this is a pretty decent vehicle for this price. And that upgraded engine, let's go take a look at that engine real quick. I think is a very nice option if you're looking for something with a little bit more power in it too. So to unlock the engine, I'm gonna pop the hood real quick. And the only reason I'm really showing you guys the engine on this one is to kind of give you an idea that it really has. Oh, it has a prop rod. I'm gonna have to hold this up for a second. But here's that larger 2.5 liter Boxer 4-cylinder engine. I can see Subaru's added a lot more engine isolation mounts in here, or some foam, kind of keep the noise down. So that means they're working on that reliability, not reliability, mostly NVH improvements, which is noise, vibrations, and harshness. Pretty typical stuff. I do like how Subaru puts the oil filter right up here, which is nice. A lot of easy access to get to a lot of things in this engine, which is amazing because sometimes you might have issues, sometimes it might be really good. But generally, this is the engine, and of course, the 2 liter is a little bit smaller than this. Close that up. I would, guys, show you guys the exhaust sound, but it really doesn't sound any different than this the regular Crosstrek. But I've seen people put some crazy exhaust on these, believe it or not, and they sound kind of cool. You can kind of hear that boxer rumble going on in there, which is really nice. But so some final impressions. So what do I think? I think, like I said, this engine is a really nice upgrade. I think if you're coming from an original Crosstrek, or you just want a little bit more power in your Crosstrek and you really love this platform, I'd say go for this one. This is a pretty decent specification. Like I said, $28,000. You can get more. You can get the nicer headlights. You can get the moonroof. You can get a little bit more stuff on the interior. But I think this is a great daily, a decent hauler, and the fuel economy is okay. Let me just double check on that real quick before I incriminate myself on our fuel economy measures. The fuel economy is not the worst, but it's also not the best. Up to 29 mpg, 2734 on the highway. So I would say you're probably going to get 3 miles per gallon less than all these numbers from my personal experience with Subarus. So it's still not bad for a 2.5 liter engine, naturally aspirated, all-wheel drive, and this size of vehicle. Compared to other products that are front-wheel drive based, maybe have a hybrid system thrown on, and they still can't match these fuel economy numbers, that's pretty good. And of course, Subarus are usually pretty dependable and whatnot, as their slogans always go. And again, guys, thank you guys for watching these videos, and stay tuned for a lot more stuff coming soon.